Hello, it's Kylie Koo. So here I am again doing another Take 5 page, Take 5 being based on the Journaling by Fives process by Shannon Green. Difference being that I only take 5 minutes to do one double page spread, 1 minute per prompt, and the list of prompts are here. So 1 paint ink, 2 collage recycle, 3 stamp stencils, 4 words and images, and 5 pen and pencil. And I do all this page in 5 minutes with just a couple of minutes overall for drying, perhaps in between the layers. Now, something that I've been thinking about is, you know, there are these steps, and this is useful because it's really just about getting you to do things. But, you know, what if you don't have paint or ink? What if you don't have stamps or stencils? Then just improvise. Use whatever materials you have. So if you've got crayons, use crayons. If you've got pencils, just use pencils. You know, you could use pencils more than once, just doing different layers. So don't feel that you can't do this process just because you don't have the exact things that are listed here. And you'll see that when it comes to the stamps and stencils, I'm just going to improvise on this occasion. I'm a great believer in recycling materials. I've done a series on what I called eco-journaling. I'm going to do some more around eco-journaling, eco-crafting soon, perhaps making my own stamps and stencils. I already have some, but I'd like to do some videos showing how I make them. So yeah, just have fun. This book that I'm using was just a cheap sketchbook. I think it cost £1 in the UK, so you know that would be under $1 in the US. So it's not particularly strong paper. It's okay. It's 160 grams or £109. So you know it's good enough for this, and it's holding up well. I've used these journals before for a lot of different things. So yeah, so I just wanted to say, don't feel you need to have all the fancy materials and whatnot to do this, to do any type of art. Use what you've got and just enjoy creating. So that said, I'm going to get started on the first stage, which is paint and ink. And I've decided this time that what I'm going to do is I've got some gelatos here. I'm just going to see how these work. I don't know if these are classed as paint or what they're classed as. They're obviously water-soluble sticks of something. So I'm just going to use them and see how it goes. So yeah, just get set up and then we're off. Okay, so 1 minute in, it hasn't fully blended, but that's okay. The paper's bobbled a couple of bits in places, that's okay. Once I dry this off, those bits will just flick off and we'll be good to go with the next stage. So here's the other thing. I'd use the gelatos in terms of paint. I didn't use any ink. I intended to. I'd laid out this ink pad just to put some on. So here's the other thing. I've used up my minute, but you know what? It's my journal. I don't have to just take 5 minutes. If I want to take more than 5 minutes, you know, so be it. So, you know, if you're doing this as well and you think, oh, I really want to do such and such, then take that time. There are no rules really. It's up to you. It's your journal. The 5 minutes is really just a guide. You know, it's the same with the whole journaling by 5 process. It's just there as a guide to get you to do things quickly, to help you move along that creative process. So you do as you want. So step 2 is collage and recycle, and from my little scrap box I've just pulled these. It's old baby wipes that had paint on them. I'd actually cut them out for another project which I then didn't use, so all I'm going to do is use these and some kitchen towel that I'd also used at some point for mopping up paint. So, and somewhere is my big super duper glue stick, which I didn't like to begin with when I first used it, but I'm actually starting to like it now. In fact, so much so that when this is used up I'll probably go and buy another one. So there we go. Right, 1 minute. And here we go. Okay, again I'll just leave that a couple of seconds. I'm just going to stick that little edge down, and that's us, and then I'll be back with the next step. So so step 3 is stamps and stencils, and this is where, you know, if you've got basic paints, basic markers, then when it comes to stamps and stencils, you know, you can get away with using everyday household items. One of my favourites is a yoghurt pot. You can see it's been well used before. This I think was a piece of embroidery plastic, but you know, there's various household items like this where you can just get an effect by putting paint through it. This is a top from an asthma inhaler, makes a good stamp. This, I'm not quite sure what this came off, I assume a piece of clothing, but if you look, it's got a design round here that's almost that kind of clockwork type thing, and also a piece here that you could stencil through. You could use the edge of it to get some marks down. So I'm just going to see what I can get done in a minute, just using these few materials and just one paint. So again, let's go. Okay, so managed to get quite a bit down. a few different marks, one paint but a few different marks, so yeah, quite happy with that. So again, very quick dry and then I'll be back. And on the basis of never wasting any paint, I've just scraped that little bit of indigo that I had left there onto my, what I call my nighttime journal, just because this is mainly the one that I use late at night when I feel the need to create, so nothing wasted. Right, so the next step is words and images. So I quickly just pulled an image and some words from my pile, and I'll set the timer and start with that. And there we go. So when I was sticking glue onto that image, it tore a little bit there, but no big deal. These things just don't matter at all. So, okay, again, I'll just give that a couple of seconds and I'll be back for the next step. Okay, so step 5 is pen and pencil. And again, I would urge you to use what you've got. If, what you have is just basic pencils like this, then that's great. These make marks, and all you need to do is to make marks. A basic biro pen, use it. It will do as well as anything. The only thing you need to be careful with sometimes is if you then add water later for some reason, then these can smudge. But to me that doesn't matter either. I've done that before, and all it does is add to the effect of it. So, again, use what you've got. This is a permanent marker. Says it can be used in fabric, craft tape, plastic, glass, metal, paper, etc. So it's the type of thing I would keep for various projects around the house, not just for art, but for marking up things. So quite a handy one. So again, let's go with the 1 minute. So that's it, another Take 5 page completed. 5 minutes to do and very little drying time in between with this one. be lucky if it was even 2 minutes. So using a lot of recycled materials, magazine images, some stamps, just everyday household items, a basic pencil and a kind of what we'd call a household pen rather than an art pen as such. And yeah, just a lot of fun putting this together. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. Do let me know if you try this process. Obviously the journaling by fives process is very popular. It's a great process. I've kind of adapted this just to fit into to 5 minutes, or not much more than 5 minutes. So I'd love to know if this is a process you've tried. And if you've not, then why not give it a go? Take 5. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you will join me again. Bye for now.